The Detroit Lions are going to the playoffs for the first time since 2016 and have won 10 games for the first time since 2014, almost 10 years. And we know what happened the last time during that year, the last time we won 10 games. We went 11-5, had a chance at the division title against the Green Bay Packers. We lost. We had to go on the road to Dallas. I think we were the 4th seed, and we went to Dallas to play the 5th seed, and we know what happened there. But 10 years later, almost, and the Detroit Lions have an opportunity to do something they've never done, and we're going to talk about this, but the Detroit Lions have a chance to not only make the playoffs, but host a game at Ford Field and win the NFC North for the first time in its existence, which has been 20-plus years, or 20 years on the nose. It's either, I think it's 2002, and then 2003 is when Ford Field was built. But the Detroit Lions have an opportunity to do that. You'll never believe this, but this is crazy. Out of all the scenarios, there were 16 different scenarios for the Detroit Lions to make the playoffs this weekend. They did their part by winning, and every other scenario has been thrown out the window except one. The Green Bay Packers lost, and we also need the Seattle Seahawks to lose tomorrow. Now, tomorrow's a double-edged sword. Now, I'll tell you which one I'm rooting for at the end of this video. But if the Lions get in the playoffs, they're going to need a Seattle loss tomorrow, right? So that would mean that the Eagles would get a win and would make that first seed even more unattainable. We're going to talk about that probably on Tuesday in a video. But today, the Lions were not one of these teams, obviously. Here is what the NFC and playoff picture is looking like. So far, the AFC no one has clinched. It's a hot mess over there. We'll get to that in a minute. The 49ers actually clinched last week. The Eagles were elevated into the playoffs today, and the Cowboys clinched as well. And right here, the Detroit Lions are currently the 3rd seed, but have not yet clinched. We can have that happen tomorrow. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the 4th seed. The Minnesota Vikings are the 6th seed. And look who snuck in today with a win and a Green Bay Packers loss, the LA Rams. Now let's go down here and I'll show you the teams eliminated. The eliminated teams, 3 were added to the mix today. The Patriots and Panthers were already eliminated last week. The Jets, Tennessee Titans, and Arizona Cardinals joined the Reigns mix today. So here we go. If we look at the AFC, this is probably going to change very soon. Next week, a lot of these teams will be out. But the Buffalo Bills, I believe, have they might have wiggled their way into the playoffs. Right now, it doesn't say it, but I thought it was updated on a different feed. But right now, they won today, and I think they have to win out in order to make the playoffs. The Steelers are done. Broncos have an outside chance. Raiders have a chance as well. And the Chargers at 5-9 are the last team left. I think they'll be eliminated this coming weekend. But as you can see, your Detroit Lions have a chance to get in the playoffs with a Seattle loss tomorrow. Now, here's what I wanted to talk about. A lot of Lions fans online we're kind of desperate, right? We haven't been in the playoffs in 6 years, 6 or 7 seasons. So now we just want to get in and know that we're there. And if the Seattle Seahawks lose, that will happen. We will have clinched a playoff spot. I'm looking for something different, though. I'm looking for something more. I would like to see the Eagles lose that game, okay, which would keep the Detroit Lions out of the playoffs for another week. But to me, that doesn't matter. You know why? Because we have an opportunity to go into Minnesota and not only clinch a playoff spot, but win the division at the same time. So how long have we been waiting on other teams to do our dirty work, to take care of business for us? We have an opportunity to do that this weekend, okay? And you're talking about, like, Dan Campbell talks about the stuff that he lives for, and he loves this. I'm sure Dan Campbell would prefer it like this, with a chance to control your own destiny, go into Minnesota, win the division title on the road, and doing so, securing a playoff spot. And at this point, they're going to have a better record. If they do that, they are going to have a better record, okay, than anyone in the NFC South, which means they are guaranteed the 3rd seed. We swept the NFC South. So even if we wound up some way, I mean, at this point, we're 11 wins anyway. So nobody in that division can have more than 10 wins. So either way it go, the Detroit Lions, as a matter of fact, yeah, I mean, because what we're worried about we are worried about we're trying to win this NFC North, and we could do that and get into the playoffs at the same time. Now, the Eagles, right now, we need them to lose because I have my eye on the second seed and an outside shot in the first seed. It's going to be a tight race, but with the right things happening, we can still get there. Now, more than likely, it's probably going to be the third seed. But if we were to get the second seed, which is a great runner-up prize, we are going to be guaranteed to host 2 playoff games, and then we have an outside chance to host the the NFC North Championship, right? So I am looking for us to take care of business. Now, I do plan to go to that game. I'm going to get my hotel and ticket and all that stuff to the game. Going to get that on Thursday, and then I'll be hitting the road come early Saturday morning to get there by check-in. So the Lions are in control of their own destiny for the first time in a while. Well, actually, last year was the same thing. If we would have beat Carolina and won the last 2, then we wouldn't have need Seattle's, to lose to get into the playoffs. So forget all this stuff. We're in. We're going to make it. We're not going to crumble down the stretch. And here's what I think. I think that the Detroit Lions are going tomorrow. They are going to next week. They're going to come out. They're going to know what's on the line, right? They had the best complete team performance of the season yesterday. I think they're going to continue to build on that, even though they'll be in a hostile environment, even though it's an NFC North opponent, even though they're on the road. I think that Lions play some good football on the road. They really do. It's almost like they thrive off of the adversity, which is what a Dan Campbell team is about, right? So I think that the Lions are going, as a matter of fact, I'm super confident that I'm not confident, but I'm confident that these guys are going to win this division. And they're going to do it in Minnesota. And now with the Cowboys getting beat down by the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions playing them in 2 weeks, the Bills might have gave us the blueprint on how to beat them. All of a sudden, man, they don't look so tough, right? You ain't so bad. You ain't nothing. Shout out to Rocky, man. Love Rocky. That was Rocky 3, by the way. So anyway, Lions got a good opportunity. And they take care of business next week. And we are division champions. And I want to be there. I want to be able to witness history. And I've already pretty much secured my ticket to the first playoff game at Ford Field. So how amazing would that be? And then to be part of a potential win as well. So we are looking like we are going to face the LA Rams right now, being the 3rd seed, and they are the 7th. So I think the Rams are going to go on a roll. I have them ending 9-7. They're going to be 9-8. I think they lose maybe one more game and get in at 9-8. I think they lose the last game of the season, but they may need to win that game to get in. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's much better when the Lions win the game than when they lose. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.